Hello, welcome back to a new video. Do I need my sunnies? Do I not? I'll need them here in a minute. Got a road beverage because anytime you run errands, adulting is treating yourself to a beverage, and I try not to stop and get them because then it costs way more. And that's from Trader Joe's. It's like their version of the lollipop or poppy drinks. Super good. I also make them sometimes at home, just with sparkling water, apple cider vinegar, and then some kind of juice. Lately I've been doing tart cherry juice, but I've done like orange juice, pineapple. You didn't come here for that, but just a money saving tip if you like those drinks. But every so often I like to have one out of the can just to treat myself. And they're like $1.29 or $1.69 at Trader Joe's. Okay, so this video, I'm going to see how many meals I can make for $20. And I'm actually road tripping, I feel like I am anyways, to Winco Foods. I had not been there in like a year, and then recently decided that it was just like worth, since gas is going down a little bit. I also could take my husband's car, but he's at work today. He has an electric vehicle, so I could save a lot of money taking his vehicle, but I just like don't like spending the gas when it's like $5 a gallon to get to the grocery store, because honestly, I'm not saving that much money. But I have some time today, and I thought, you know what, gas went down a little bit. I feel good about this. And last time I went to Winco Foods, I feel like they had a lot of really good sales. So fingers crossed they have a lot of good sales today. So for $20, I'm gonna see how many meals I can make. It might be a full week, it might be a couple days. I'm gonna say meal equals serving, because I am one person. Every time I sit down for a meal, that's a serving. So meal equals serving. So let's not get that all discombobulated and confused because of, you know, the meal thing. I get so many comments on that. I'm like, well, if you're someone sitting down for a meal and you're a single person, it's a meal. And if you're sitting down with multiple people, they're all having a meal. So anywho's, let's go to Winco Foods, and I'll try to be discreet and film while I'm in there. Usually if it's quiet on a day like today, it's easy to film. So we'll see. All right, off to Winco Foods. But first, this is the tangerine one. It's so good. They also have the ginger lemon one, also really good, just really refreshing. And I find that if I have something like this, I don't reach for like a coffee or an energy drink. So like cutting back on that caffeine, always a bonus. All right, here we go. Winco Foods. Okay, I just got back from Winco Foods. I feel like that was such a trek. I don't even know why, because it's not my normal driving path. I have to like, you know, go way out of the way. I already explained that, but I feel like I did really, really good. I got a ton of stuff and I spent $20.50. So just a hair over my budget. Honestly, if I would have put one thing back, like one cucumber or one banana, I would have been right at my budget, but I was already at the checkout and I knew I was gonna be a hair over, and I thought, you know what, I'm just like not gonna tell her to put it back, or I'm not gonna go put it back because it's just annoying. So I feel really good about it. I'm gonna share with you my tiny little haul. You kind of saw a little bit of a shop with me, and I think I nailed this. It's got a lot of fruits and veggies and just wholesome foods, and I didn't go in there with a plan, which normally I'll like kind of jot out a plan. Didn't go out in there with a plan. I thought whatever I see for produce that's on sale, that will inspire me, and I think we did pretty good. Here is what $20.50 gets you at Winco Foods this week. Okay, so you can see there's quite a bit of produce. I feel like there's a lot of freshness. Let's go over what I picked up. 4 cucumbers. You saw these were crazy good deal, 48 cents. These are my favorite style of cucumbers. They're not essentially seedless, but they feel like they are. I just love them so much. I got zucchini because all the squash were on sale, great price. I think it was 98 cents a pound. I also got these, which I have not bought in like 3 years, egg roll wrappers. And there's a lot in here. There are 20 of them in here. I feel like that's a lot. That is a lot. Maybe it's not a lot to you, but that's a lot to me. This was kind of like a splurge You could obviously do a lot cheaper options, but you gotta switch it up sometimes. The Caesar romaine, it's just the chopped romaine. That is how I like to buy it for convenience. And honestly, price-wise, it wasn't much different than the heads of lettuce. And this saves me a little bit of time. I don't have to wash them, chop them. You do whichever you want to do, but this was good until May 6th. And I thought this is perfect because that's like 2 weeks away. Bulk section products at Trader Joe's. I like don't buy, or Trader Joe's. Winco Foods, I don't buy them that often. But I did get some oats and I got about 2.5 cups, cost me about 60 cents. I was really happy with that. So that's what we went with today. A can of corn, a can of black beans, 50 cents each. I am putting up the prices so you can kind of, in the total in the corner here, so you can kind of, you know, see my prices, maybe compare them to yours. Obviously, I'm not in charge of grocery prices, so they might be different where you are, less or more, I don't know. Sweet potatoes and bananas, which I got 7. So I thought I would do a coffee drink too this week, and I'll probably share with you how to make that. Even though the coffee is not technically in my budget, I just thought it would be fun to share that with you. So there is my entire haul and the total. And let's get started with what we're making for breakfast this week. I love to always add this disclaimer that I'm not in charge of grocery prices, but also I don't count calories. I just eat food, and that's totally okay, because every so often I'll get a comment saying like, oh, this is only this many calories. Listen, I just eat food, and this might not be all I eat this week. Just to throw that out there, I feel like every so often I need to make that reminder. I have other food on hand. This is just the food that I bought for my primary meals this week, but I have other snacks on hand. This is just kind of for a synopsis, if you will, of what $20 can get me. But if I'm hungry, I'll have more food. This is not all I have. And I feel very, very blessed to be able to say that. But not everyone does, but I don't want anyone to ever come at my video and be like, oh, you need X amount of calories, or you need this, or you need this. You don't know my body, just like I don't know your body. So this is what I'm having primarily for my meals this week. But if I want more servings or more food, I'm good. I got that. And of course, I'm not in charge of grocery prices, so yours might be more, yours might be less. I don't know. This is just the options I have. Depending on what area I shop in here in Vegas or what store I go to, prices vary. So keep that in mind. Hey, please do me a huge favor and let me know what you're having for lunch this week. I love asking because it gets so many ideas going in the comment section. So this is my favorite brand of tofu, and I can only find it at Winco Foods. I do like the Trader Joe's tofu, the extra firm. It tastes identical, but this brand was like the first brand that I had that I was like, okay, I like it. So I'm just cutting it into large cubes. I don't press my tofu. If that's how you prefer it, you can do that. I feel like with the extra firm, I don't need to. Also, I'm just lazy and don't have a tofu press and don't really care that much. But I'm going to go ahead and pop this in my oven at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes and just make it nice and crispy on the outside. I'm going to add some seasoning. I believe I added a barbecue seasoning this day. It says seafood blend. Yes, but it's not. This Auntie Nono's is so good. I have a bunch of different seasonings from them, and I like to use them all the time. This is probably my favorite. It's like a barbecue inspired seasoning. It's really good for summertime, I feel like. But we are making a salad, and I put that salad dressing back. Okay, sometimes when I do budget videos, I feel bad spending $5 on a dressing because I'm like, oh, I should probably make this, video as cheap as possible. What if someone doesn't have the extra $5? What if they're coming to me for ideas and, that's out of their budget? So I didn't get the dressing. We have dressings on hand, as I'm sure everybody has condiments in their fridge. Oh, I do have a question to ask you. Would you like to see a video that is a use it up video, but instead of focusing on the food I want to use up, instead the condiments that are in my fridge that have barely anything left? Because I feel like that would be a really fun spin on a use it up. Say, I have this condiment and it inspired me to make this meal. Let me know down below. So anyways, as you saw, I just cut up some cucumbers and lettuce, and I am going to add a paper towel to each of these containers. And you're probably thinking, why are you prepping these salads? Well, for us, a lot of times we
don't eat food like normally. And I say this all the time. I like to meal prep on the weekend when I have time. And sometimes this food only lasts us till Wednesday. But if their salads are on hand, we can take them out and eat them. And sometimes we might have 2 salads a day. I'm not the only person eating these meals. But me and my husband will enjoy these, and everything's kind of like bulk meal prepped, and then it's just really simple. Sometimes we'll even have a salad for breakfast because it's there, it's ready, it's convenient, and the paper towels do keep the lettuce and cucumbers fresh. I just turn them upside down in my refrigerator, and then the tofu I just kind of bulk prepped. And here is the salad. And I had leftover condiments of dressing, but I also had some limes and lemons on hand, and that's what I used for this salad this day. It was super fresh. I added a little bit of salt. It was just like so good, like the perfect summer salad. So let's move on to dinner. We're going to save breakfast for last just because I just wanted to switch it up this day. So for dinner, I decided to make egg rolls, but I didn't realize for some reason that the egg rolls weren't gluten-free. I just like wasn't thinking that when I went to the store. Now, personally, I do try to eat gluten-free, just my preference because my body doesn't really like love gluten. I don't have celiac, but if I eat too much gluten, it's just not fun for my body. So I decided to go ahead and make egg rolls, but we already had some dinner plans for the week. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to make these and freeze these. However, I totally forgot to share with you after I froze them, kind of like how I stored them. So I made the egg rolls, sweet potatoes, squash, black beans, corn, and I stuffed each of them, and then I put them on a baking sheet and ended up transferring them to another baking sheet because you'll see it that I was going to put them into the oven, but then changed my mind because I was using the baking sheet that the tofu was on. So I moved them. I put them in the freezer in the baking sheet, like on the baking sheet, so that way that they could freeze really nicely. And I didn't put them in my kitchen fridge. We got a fridge for our garage, and I'm going to do a full stock with me, and it's going to be really fun. I'm going to do a freezer meal prep, and I'm excited for that, so make sure you subscribe. But I went ahead and put those long sheets of egg rolls into that freezer, let them freeze overnight, pulled them out. They were on parchment paper, put them in, put the egg rolls in some Ziploc baggies, and now I have a whole freezer full of egg rolls. It's really nice, actually. And then my husband can take those out and he can put them in the oven or the air fryer, whatever he wants to enjoy them. So let's get back to the sweet potatoes and zucchini here. I added them to just a skillet. And I added about a half a cup of water and put the lid on, and that kind of really steamed them. And I went ahead and added the zucchini because that would release its water, and then just cook the sweet potatoes really fast. This really only took about 10 or 12 minutes, super fast, and then they were nice and soft to put into the egg rolls. As far as the black beans and corn, I just drained them. I didn't rinse them because I did want a little bit of liquid in there so that way they would cook really nicely. I think the only thing that my husband really, really missed from this was like a dipping sauce. So next time I am going to make him a dipping sauce. But having those egg rolls on hand was like really, really nice because he could just pop them into the, like I said, the air fryer, and he could add them to his lunch if he wanted to. And they're really inexpensive. And you're going to see this makes so much for 20 egg rolls to stuff. Like it was incredible to me. We actually had leftovers. And I had that with some of my salads, and it was just like really good. So I actually loved the process of putting these egg rolls together. I don't know what it is. Sometimes I don't like little tasks that are time consuming, but then sometimes I just absolutely love it. And also this egg roll wrapper was so hard to open. I couldn't find my kitchen scissors. Let me know down below. Is your kitchen scissors go missing all the time? I have 3 of them. They're all gone. I don't know where they went. But anyways, going back to the egg rolls, I actually love putting these together. It was like super fun. I had the time to do it. And like I said, sometimes I don't like doing little tasks like this. I try to make things like in bulk that are really easy, really simple, not super time consuming. This wasn't super time consuming. It was just easy and fun, and it only took like 5 minutes to put them all together. But it did have extra stuffing, and so that was nice. So we could enjoy that. And I don't know. It was just kind of fun. I was just thinking of all the different things I could put into egg rolls. I was thinking like a buffalo chickpea would be really, really good. Do like chickpeas, buffalo sauce, maybe a little mustard, and add some veggies in there, maybe some celery, maybe some green peppers. Be really super good. Or you could do like a buffalo cauliflower if you wanted to. Just like a ton of different options. I don't know. It sounded really good. So here's what I was talking about. You can see I was going to bake the one on the left, but I decided not to. I moved everything to the same tray, put it in the freezer, and like I said, froze it overnight and then put it in little baggies and they were good to go. So moving on to breakfast. So for breakfast, I decided to do a oatmeal bake. That should be no surprise. I do them almost every single week because they're really, really easy. They're convenient. The oatmeal's made ahead, but I did decide to put zucchini in this one and it was okay. I put banana in it as well. I don't love the taste or the texture when you put veggies like zucchini or cauliflower with oats. A lot of you always say like it doesn't change the texture. I'm wondering if it's because I use quick oats and I know what I'm expecting that it does change the texture. Maybe if I use like steel cut or old fashioned, maybe it wouldn't be the same. But I'm using my little blender and getting my zucchini all blended up. And I didn't even add any additional water or anything to this recipe. You could add water, you could add nut milk. I didn't add anything additional because the zucchini is so wet that if you let the oats sit for a little bit with the zucchini and then mix it up with the banana, it should be good. But you can add a little bit of liquid if you want. So I would say that was about 3 cups of zucchini, 2 bananas, and I'm going to use 2 cups of oatmeal. This is something I feel like you just can't mess up. You just mix it all together. If it's a little too dry, add a little liquid. If it's a little too wet, add a little bit more oats. You cannot mess this up. It's not an exact science. It's not a real baked recipe. It's just adding stuff to a bowl, mixing it together, putting it in the oven, baking it, and then you're good. And I like the bulk section at Winco Foods. I get this question all the time, but I don't like love it because sometimes I get kind of creeped out by it. Just thinking like it's bulk and, you know, everyone's in there getting their food. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like okay with it. And then some days I'm like, I don't think I'm going to get any bulk items today. But I used to shop the bulk section all the time when I did other budget videos. And then sometimes I would feel bad because people would say like they didn't have the bulk options. And then I just kind of got to the point where I was like, I can't control where everybody else shops. This is just for ideas. Unless you live in the same city as me, shop at the same stores, it's almost impossible to get things exactly the same. But I try to use ingredients that are really easy to get, pantry staples, if you will, that I know people can get. You know, maybe the egg roll wrappers aren't a pantry staple for many people, but oats, zucchini, bananas, sweet potatoes, I feel like all those are like just staples that you can get and recreate these recipes. So anyways, I put this in a glass baking dish, put it in the oven at 350 and baked it for about 25 to 30 minutes until it was crispy to my liking. And this I would only cut into 4. And sometimes my husband, if he were to eat this, he would take 2 pieces. So it's not very much, if you will. It's only 4 servings, but it's really, really delicious. And it's something we both love. And like I said, I can have it on hand. And then breakfast, lunch, and even the dinner is set for the week. And that's all I'm looking to do when I meal prep is get everybody set for the week.
Hey, I just wanted to quickly say thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope it gave you some really great meal ideas that are super inexpensive to use up things either you have in your fridge, freezer, or pantry already, or just give you some fresh ideas so next time you run to the store, you can add these to your list. Have an awesome day. I'll see you soon in a new video. Bye-bye.